Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make what I call egglets, and I'm going to show you what you need specifically to do this. So the one thing you need that's really important is a pan like this. This is a Edelskriver pan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but somebody gave it to me. Actually, my sister gave it to me for Christmas to make these little pancake things, but I use it for that as well. I thought, you know, this would be fun to make egglets. So what are egglets? They're mini omelets, and I'm going to show you how to do it in this pan and what to do. So you can see here are the ingredients you need. You need about a 1/4 pound of bacon, and we're going to cut it up, and probably not going to use all of it, maybe just a little bit, and the rest of it we'll cook just to have with our eggs. And then 1/2 cup of cheese, and this is Colby Jack, and it's just shredded. 4 eggs, and I use Eggland's Best, and a little bit of water, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Some milk, and I just use 2%, and then some cooking spray, and I choose to use a butter flavored kind. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do is preheat your pan just so it gets nice and warm. And I do it just a little bit shy of medium heat. If you can see this right here. And that way, you know, everything doesn't get burnt, especially with the eggs. All right, and the next thing you want to do is we're going to cut up some of this bacon. So okay, I've cut up about a 1/2 cup of bacon. So what you want to do is you actually want to brown the bacon first in your little egglet pan here. So I'm just going to take, you know, just little bits and put it in there and let it brown for each one. While the bacon is browning, I'm going to go ahead and get my eggs ready here. And I just went ahead and cracked them into the dish. So I've got all 4 of them in there. And then here's a little secret about, you know, making any type of omelet or something, or eggs that you want fluffy, like if you're doing scrambled eggs. If you add a little bit of milk and a little bit of water to it, it makes them a lot more fluffy. So what I'm going to do now is add some milk and some water to my eggs. So I'm just going to have a regular tablespoon here, and I'm going to just take a tablespoon of milk here, pour it in, and same thing with the water. Just get a tablespoon of the water and pour it in. Okay, and what I do is I just use a fork to beat the eggs, but you want to beat them and so that they get to a nice consistency. And I just stir those up here. Everybody gets mixed up, and then we'll use this as part of our egglet. Okay, now my bacon's all browned, and what you do have to do after the bacon's browned, you may have to take out some of the grease, and I just use my teaspoon to take out some of the grease. And then you may not even need to spray it after all, simply because there's enough coating from the nice bacon that will keep your eggs from sticking. So now it's time to put your eggs in. So we've got our egg mixture here, and I just use a 1/4 cup in order to just scoop a little bit out and pour them into my little egglet thing. And you only have to use even a 1/2 of that in order to get them in there. Okay, the 4 eggs fills up my cup perfectly. I fill it all the way to the top. And I'm just going to let it cook. If you'd like to add any spices at this time, you can. What I usually add is just some salt and pepper, and sometimes I add a little smoked paprika. It just adds a little more flavor to it. And when we're ready, I will show you how to take them out of the cup. So another little tip, you know, if the tops are still kind of runny, what you can do is just take a clear lid that will fit over the Edelskriver pan and just put it on top of there, and what that'll do is it'll hold in the heat and it'll help the top of your eggs to get completely done. Okay, when they're almost done on the top, what you want to do is roll over the egg itself. So what I do is I take one of these Edelskriver little tongs that came with your pan, and you just kind of stick it under the edge of the egg. And then you just slowly kind of roll it over, pushing it over. And It just takes but a second, and then your egglet is done. Okay, I've taken them out of the pan now, and I've flipped them out. So what you want to do now is just sprinkle a little bit of the cheese on top of each one. All right, and these are ready to serve.